The surge in popularity for weight loss medication and IV therapy has pushed med spas to the forefront. But with that has come a rise in poor treatment and even illness. Scams are prevalent in the industry with a lack of regulation. So Liquivida CEO Sam Tejeda is here to share his insight into the good, the bad, and the ugly of the business. Welcome back.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's wonderful to have you. Now, you know this industry firsthand. So what are some of the trends that you're currently seeing and even some of those scams that you're seeing as well?
Absolutely. So in the health, wellness, and beauty industry, obviously right now weight loss is really big. A lot of the GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic and tirzepatide are out there. And then also on the beauty side, you got things like Botox, alongside with the wellness, the IV hydration. You got a lot of people that see the business opportunity, the more popular it becomes, and they try to capitalize on it without being concerned about the consumer's health and safety.
Yeah, and so some of those scams, what would those look like for people out there?
Well, some people are purchasing products from unknown sources overseas, right? So with that, you don't know what you're getting. These are things that are being injected into your body, right? You don't know if it has high levels of toxins that could affect you. It can affect neurological issues. It can cause issues with gene expression, causing chronic illnesses. With IV hydration, a lot of these different medications are going directly into your bloodstream. So you want to know the source that it's coming from. You want to know that it's quality. It's something that's being regulated by the FDA. And it's not one of these things that, you're going into someone's garage or something and getting these procedures done.
Now, some people might be enticed by the price because if it's cheaper, they might be more inclined to visit a wellness center that's even unregulated. So what are maybe some of the risks even that, and how can people sort of differentiate between the two?
Well, the first thing I'll say is you can't be cheap with your health nor your safety, right? So yes, everyone's looking for a good deal and deals are out there, but if it's too good to be true, it's probably not something good. And they're probably cutting corners. It's probably not the right medical professional that's supposed to be there giving these procedures. So, you have to take that in consideration when you're price shopping.
Now, what are some red flags to watch out for, even if people are just doing a standard search online and they're trying to look for that place that's going to really work for them?
So the first thing is, let's hear what other people have to say about this business, this wellness center, this clinic. It's very easy for business owners to talk about their own business, but I want to hear what other people are saying, right? So if you don't see any good reviews, or if there are no reviews, that might be a potential red flag. Also, when you go on their website, who is the medical provider that is offering these services? It is public record, all licensures for medical professionals. So is it the right medical professional? I don't want a foot doctor doing heart surgery on me. So when it comes to the beauty side or wellness side, I want to make sure it's somebody who's formally trained through certain fellowships and accredited institutions on that particular type of treatment.
It really ends up being about doing your homework. That's for sure, right?
Yeah.
Researching, making sure you're finding the right place. Now, you have a new book, How to Win in Modern Wellness. What is that all about?
I do. So I actually collaborated with a lot of the leaders in the industry, doctors, CEOs. I've built some strong relationships in the past 11 years since I started Liquivida. And what I did, I gave them all a chapter in the book, all of these different leaders in the industry. And we're talking about these things. We're talking about safety. We're talking about regulations. We're talking about where the industry's headed.
Now, you're also chairman of the American IV Association. So how has that organization been in terms of working to protect consumers?
So I was appointed as a chairman back in January. And the purpose behind the association is create standardization for safety and compliance, making sure that clinics are actually following these procedures the right way. We actually do have accredited training where we certify the facilities. So now consumers, when they're looking for something that's something that's good, that's going to be positive for their health, and they're looking for that qualified wellness center, they'll be able to find someone who's certified through the association.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Sam,
Absolutely.
for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
To learn more about Liquivida or to schedule an appointment, visit liquivida.com or call 844-LIV2-100.